Hello everyone and welcome to the map Frostline here. Join me today, highlight viewer submitted matches. We start in the upper right corner of this fine snowy map. The blue Protoss probes. It is Rip Maya Noose. You misspelled noose, my friend. There's an E at the end because it's the rope. Kind, okay. The rope that goes around bad people's necks. And their opponent here, the red Zerg drones, claiming that they don't playing for a long time. It is Fury. Or F Jury. He's the, is he the judge? Or is he the bailiff? Either way, F Jury, okay. He does not want to be on the jury. That much is very clear. It's very clear, I suppose. Okay. Quit having fun, Indigos. Let's talk about the game. It is Protoss versus Zerg on one of our fine maps in this ladder pool. I do like this one in particular. Some of the others I would put above my favorites, I suppose. It definitely ain't no ley lines for me, I can tell you that much, but it's definitely one on the better side of the spectrum, in my opinion. What is going to be in store here? So far, they're both opening. I would say relatively normal. The Zerg went for a pool first, though, which usually indicates some type of damage is wanted, some type of aggression. They are not really going for a whole lot yet, though. They're hungry Zerglings. Not yet hungry enough to venture out and forage amongst the bones and buildings of Protoss, I suppose. Protoss are scary, to be fair. They've gotten a lot of cool updated changes with this patch. You know, energy overcharge kind of has some use throughout the game. Sentries early on, you know, for hallucination scouting. Oracles. As the mid-game progresses, get those stasis wards out a bit more consistent. And then late game, High Templar, baby. That's need I say more. Psi Storms galore. Poet and I didn't know it, I suppose. The probe will fall. He did his job, though. Scouted around, saw that there was a second base with really no drones. There's going to be a roach warren made in both a perfect place for me to believe you're making a wall and also completely absurd how you couldn't put it here. It both is starting a wall and not part of a wall at all. Okay, well, we're going to go make a third base instead. Phoenix is the choice from the Protoss. Excuse me. Really? Phoenix, huh? Not an Oracle. I'm surprised. I'm intrigued in the choice. Show me what you got, Mr. Misspelled Rope, as I will call you. Or Mr. Rip, I suppose. I could go with that, but that's a neat Phoenix skin. What is this? It's not very angular. It seems like it's got such smooth edges. The Phoenix will make itself known. The Zerg player is going to know that this is not a hallucination, I suppose. It is dealing actual, legitimate damage. We are not hallucinating this Phoenix. Neither are we hallucinating the damage that is dealing. Okay, calm down now, Mr. Protoss here. Controlling, microing one Phoenix against an Overlord. Gotta make sure it doesn't get away from you, right? Heaven forbid. Alright, over back at home, we're making some probes. I like the Oracle skin, too. That's the Nerazim Oracle skin. Give it the purple orb in there. Behind this, it's still just more of the same. The Protoss is not yet taking their third base either. They just got Warp Gate completed, so they're going to work to probably secure the courage to go get that third base. They're both really just kind of macroing. We'll let these two do a bit of damage before I decide to speed it up. I'm going to move into the main base here. The Phoenix could lift the Queen, but then the Spore Crawler is going to be a lot of the problem. Well, Phoenix, there you go. Lift the Queen, but focus the Spore. Okay. Thank you for showing me that I can absolutely speed this game up a little bit here. Lings and roaches are going to move across the other side of the map now that they know there's no threat of neither Phoenix nor Oracle, I suppose. These Lings do not have speed, though. Why is nobody getting Ling speed anymore? This happened with the games last week, too. You guys just don't get Zergling speed. What the heck? Like, if you're not going to make Zerglings, I get it. Okay, that's fine. But even at some point in the match, it just becomes so cheap and worthwhile for the investment. It's totally fine. Well, the ragtag band of Lings and Roaches will be beset on all sides by the threats of one air unit, so it's going to be shut down pretty well. A couple of Zealots able to handle themselves relatively well, actually. You can take out multiple Roaches. The Ravagers are going to pop out of the eggs, which is going to complicate the matters for them, for sure. Oh, get it. You have your flyer tracker on. Ooh, barely. Barely saving that Oracle. Okay. Singular pylon. Gonna be in trouble. Well, we're not actually gonna do that. We have a recall initiated to bring back a second Oracle. It actually will work out very well. We already used the energy overcharge, because this is a prime opportunity for energy overcharge. Get that second Oracle into the mix. Focus down the Ravagers first, I would say. Oh, we're going for different Roaches, too. Oh, God, that hurts. We have Void Rays here to help out, which is a fantastic choice for shutting down this kind of Roach play. Void Rays, they're struggling to keep up, though. No, they're working their way there. They do get the Roaches. The main base will be secured. Minimal probe losses. Natural is gone, though. Oh my gosh, the Oracle trying to help out. The Void Rays, they need to just kind of hold the ramp for a minute. Oh, no, don't let them go. Behind this, the Zerg player, they're not quite doing nothing, but I also worry that they're not doing enough, because their drone count has risen slightly. The lair is on the way, at least, so that's going to be helpful. And get something like Hydralisks or a Spire to deal with this Stargate play. At this point, I mean, you've seen a lot of Stargate play. I wouldn't blame you for just going into Spire and going Mutas at this point. How's your Queen count? That is not a good Queen count for fighting Void Rays, my friend. This one's gonna hurt. The probe count steadily rising once again. Protoss back up to 25. Oh, the Void Rays, barely clipping with that corrosive bile. They're going to focus down the hatchery instead of going for the drones. That's a choice, I suppose. Hydralisk Den is the choice from the Zerg. The Roaches and Ravagers, I understand not wanting to really just sit underneath the Void Rays and lose everything. Send them across. Just send them across. Void Rays, the Protoss, Muta. Just send all your Roaches and Ravagers across the other side. Start to whittle down the wall. Make him come home to deal with you. That's what I say. That's what I suppose. Go cause a roach-shaped fire back at home. The Queens and the Hydras, I think, might be able to deflect this. I worry about the amount. We'll have 7, 8 Hydras up against 7 Void Rays. It should be okay as long as the Hydras focus fire. I think it'll be fine. The Protoss may not actually be giving them the opportunity, though. Feeling good after destroying the third hatch. I agree with the choice. I like the decision, actually, to just back up. Say, I took a win. I destroyed some drones. They brought the drone count down to 34, although they don't 100% know that, of course. But you're looking at this, you're saying, okay, I just destroyed your base. You killed all my probes, but you didn't actually destroy any Nexuses. All you really lost were probes. Uh-oh. Zerg. He's got a Roach and a Hydra. And he's walking across the map. Stasis word triggered as perfectly as it could. Only one Zergling will be lost. Void Ray's going to make their move into the main base. Go after some of the tech structures. The Nexus could recall. There's a few standing defensive forces, but the Hydras are going to deal with it, I think. Corrosive Bile will connect and get the Void Ray too. Well done. Zerg's gonna split their forces up. Zealots at the front. Looks like they might not be able to deal with the Queen. The Queen, there's no control and not even focus fire from their AI targeting. Oh my gosh, no, don't tell me. Don't tell me. 2! She had 2 health. I think the Void Rays were just recalled home. They were. They made it to the 3rd base. Force field used to block out some of the Zerg forces. The probe count is dwindling yet again. With action-packed game, you two. What are the APMs like? They're both working. Okay, they're both struggling. Oh my gosh, you have 1 probe? What? I saw it for a brief second. Only 1 probe was on the map. The Void Rays will clean all of this up. They will deal with this at the cost of a lot, though. The worker count is abysmal. There's only 7 probes in total right now, and that's because they've been cranking them out. Protoss, pick up. I know. Pick up the pieces of this Protoss build at this point. The Void Rays, you gotta bring them home, right? Well, they've got 3 Void Rays on the way. They could, I guess, just hope for the defense. There's enough pylons that I think the roaches can't break through everything in time. 4 pylons, that's the real value here. If you had these all on 1 pylon, you'd have been toast. But the foundational tech breakthrough of building more than 1 pylon is going to save the day, it looks like. The Void Rays on the other side, they make a move. Queen count at 1. Here she is, trying her hardest, and it's not going to work out. The natural hatchery will be lost. The Void Rays now able to wreak havoc. They go after the Spore Crawler. The Roaches only able to stare angrily as the base is lost. The defense was successful. The Void Rays, of course, can counter Roaches. They go through 3 of the pylons, though. 3 out of 4. That was worthwhile. I suppose. Fantastic decision by the Protoss to build more than 1 pylon to power all of their most important tech structure at this point. The Zerg is sending drones out to varying pieces of the map, which feels like just that the Zerg version of a Terran lifting all of their buildings, because there's no money. There's not enough money to actually make anything. You gotta just pull everything back, try to mine up, but at this point, 12 Void Rays, that's tough to beat. With no income, no real larva, no queens. Do you even have your tech buildings yet? No. Not going to work, not going to matter. The game will end in favor of the Protoss, who undoubtedly earned the victory, keeping a cool head through all of that, having to make some chaotic decisions between pulling forces back, defending versus attacking, but also the most important choice of building more than 1 pylon, because that's what that really boiled down to at that last bit of defense. So well done. Well earned game. Thank you for the submission. Not all for today though, folks. Onwards to the second match. The second match of the day will be played on the map Ultra Love. Here, the bottom left corner, the blue Protoss probes. It is Edward and their Terran opponent here, the red SCVs, the upper right corner belonging also to the red side of the map. It is ESAP Tonor. ESAP Toner. I keep thinking it's like printer ink. Every time I look at it, it's like a cartridge, but not laser jet or inkjet. No, it's made of tree sap. I like it. How fancy. I think it put the blue on the blue side of Ultra Love, the red on the red side. Excellent coding there. Matching, of course. Protoss versus Terran. We just witnessed, of course. I'm sorry. Come again? A proxy nexus. You know battery overcharge doesn't exist anymore, right? Like, what are you gonna recall? Wow, you are so not recalling anything. This Terran has been hurt before. How many SCVs 4, 8, 12, 16 SCVs pulled. Wow. That Nexus is very dead. This Terran, this poor creature, you have been harmed in the past, haven't you? Who hurt you? Did you like play a game against Max Pax or Hero and just get completely obliterated? My gosh. The poor creature here. Guys, wait, we have to pour one out here. Take a moment of silence for our Terran compadre. He's clearly been harmed. The presence of a Nexus, like there's not even battery overcharge. What was the plan? That's what I want to know. Were you gonna recall into here? Maybe, I guess you recall 2 adepts into the main base. Oh well, either way, we will never know now. We will never understand what that was gonna be before the Reapers jump up into the main base of the Protoss, get quickly distracted by the presence of 1 adept, and that's going to be all they wrote. Okay. Well, solid decision-making abound, I see. Yes, fantastic. It's definitely looking like it. Adept's going to be shading across. Head out here. What do we got? 4 in total? 4 Adepts. If they can get into the main base, that would certainly be a bit damaging. The Marine count is only at 2, and they are going to have to hold in the bunker. Yeah. Oh, the door is not closed. Adept's going to shade in. 3 is the magic number for dealing with SCVs. The 4th is just going to be icing on top of that SCV-shaped cake. Well, not if they get surrounded. The Marines move back up the ramp. They will be able to help out. We'll deal with this. The Adepts can easily deal with the Marines, too. If they focus fire. Oh my gosh. Really? Get him. There you go. At least get the last Marine, I suppose. Sass. Oh, they get 1 more SCV, too. 8 kills on that Adept alone. What was the total damage at? 10 workers killed? 6, well, 2 of those were Reapers, so 4 Marines, yeah, 4 Marines and 10 SCVs in total. Not a bad exchange, I suppose. The worker count is not quite as different, like, as far as gap is concerned, as I would have hoped for getting 10 worker kills. Do not tell me this is your Sim City. Oh my word, this is going to give me a panic attack. What is this? So to get out of the base, you're either going to have to go around here or through here? Your poor Archons. I know they can fit now. Of course, they adjusted the tile, the square size. Don't come at me in the comments. But still, your poor Archons, okay? Making them go all the way around there. I guess they could squeeze through here, maybe. Go through there, because there's space here, right? Yeah, okay. Well, never mind that this isn't ineffective, it's just insensible, I suppose. You put your gates up here like a normal Protoss, come on. Jeez. The Terran on the other side, they've got a good old-fashioned 2-1-1. We're just 1 barracks shy of the legitimate build right now. But we'll get there, I suppose. They did lose quite a few workers, both to actual losses and throwing them at a decorative nexus so early on. 16 workers pulled. You can't tell me that wasn't a bit of lost mining involved. Let's speed this up just slightly as the Oracle makes its way across the other side here. Hallucinated Phoenix going to scout that natural entrance. Going to see a bit of bio, bit of siege tank, bit of bunker. All very expected, understandable choices. SCV, pull timing is looking solid. Oracle is still going to get some damage. Oh, they're not even going to get the injured one in the gas? No. Alright. That's the struggle with focusing on the ones that are going in and out of the gas, guys, or you don't actually get to hit them enough to actually break them unless you time it really well. The buildings are still giving me a panic attack. That you're building more down here. Build somewhere else. Build up here. Take a third base. Do something. Well, they are taking a third base. Okay, I do applaud you for the decision. Thank you for doing that, I suppose. Another hallucinated Phoenix goes out. The Terran. They have Stim done. They've got +1 attack. Shields just about a quarter of the way done. So they're, I guess, feeling confident enough. This isn't normally enough forces to pull off this triple threat attack. The army supply is an advantage of the Protoss right now, which is mostly in slow zealots, though. That does change the name of the game, I suppose. The siege tank is going to be set up. Marines stimming, pushing forward. Guardian Shield activates. A fantastic use of the Guardian Shield. They're protecting most of the zealots. All the stalkers will be... You put them in the medevac so that you could make it easier for them to all die. Okay. Choices. I think it was a panic click. Honestly, I think they were trying to move. I think they were trying to stutter step or kite, and the click just wound up on the medevac, which is not going to be very helpful. No, things not looking too great right now. I worry for the fate of the Terran Federation at this point. The Protoss, well, they're working up the tech tree. They're getting their storm, getting charge, about to complete. What's our thoughts after this? We've already got a Stargate, and knowing most Protoss in this new patch, it's probably going to be something that rhymes with either Tempest or Mothership, which I think we all could expect to see at this point. She's doing quite well for herself, I will say. A multi-attack, extra stats, they gave her, beefed her up nice and good. She's been hitting the gym, she's been working out. Looking good there, Mama Ship. That's all I'm gonna say on that topic so far. Stasis word in a really nice spot. The bridge, of course, weakness, the vulnerability here is the presence of a second bridge. Terrible. I know. Why build one when you can build two for twice the price, I suppose. Observer is going to be sent out, and a replacement already on the way. Terran still just really trying to come up with enough forces to make something happen, but things are just not looking very good. The production, look at that. Most of the production just kind of sitting here. We really got to work on it. Your worker count, it's been suffering too, and I think it's about to go through a bit of even more suffrage as the charged zealots make their way to connect to the orbital command. SCV's going to have a bit of a struggle. The stasis ward is set up. It's going to be triggered onto the SCVs though, okay? So the army is not going to be fine though. Storm is completed. High Templar at the ready. Oh my gosh, the storms are so good too. Doing quite a bit of damage. Where are the Liberators? You could go for ghosts, of course. You have a lot of stuff. Yeah. That's what happens when you are not disrupted from making workers for the first few minutes here, Mr. Printer Inc. That is the struggle. Your worker count is at 36, which means your army count is going to show. You simply do not have the income. This Protoss, sitting at over 60 probes, is making everything they want, which means they still have money left over because they're not actually working all of their production on point, but they're getting their stuff, essentially. They've got the army supply that they want. The Terran's going to be both knocked back onto two bases and knocked into a bit of a confused stupor. How do you have that much stuff? Like Zagara in the Zerg campaign. How do you control so many? Oh gosh, that's terrible. But also oddly perfect. Thank you. I think I know why this was submitted now. Excellent. Alright, so Terran, they're trying. They're getting there. The third command center was destroyed. Yeah, the third orbital was destroyed and no replacement is on the way, which is only, I think, going to complicate the matter. Because refusing, of course, you didn't have the income before. You're definitely not going to have it now with no third base. The Protoss is getting to do essentially whatever they want at this point. They're taking base 4 and 5 together, adding on said Mama ship, said Tempest, and the Terran, well, they are moving out. They're going to attempt to contest the matter. Do they go for the outlying bases? No. Why would I do that when I can rush into where their army is with no scam? EMP. At least give me an EMP, my friend. I see a ghost in there. There's 3. Storm goes out yet again. There's no splitting. Absolutely not. My dear Terran friend here. Oh, that was a great EMP, actually, hitting most of the Templar. There's still 1, looks like 2 with enough energy to continue. We need some measure of split. You have 2 choices here. You can either split the units, the Marines, the Marauders, and by that I mean take a group, move, take a group, move, take a group, move, however you want. Just get them so they're not all on top of each other for when the bad weather comes a-knocking. Option 2, make units that don't care about Storm. Make things that you don't have to worry about splitting. Things like Liberators. Things like Siege Tanks. Hell, I'd even accept Thors at this point. You'd start whipping out mech units galore, okay? It's better than just sitting your Marines in the Storm all clustered, clumped up together. This is exactly why they made Size Storm, is for the groups, the death ball of Marine Marauder here. Oh, gosh. And the Protoss is going to be leaning a bit heavily into Storm, I'd wager, because of the hit to the Disruptor, which means it's definitely going to work out pretty well. They're adding on Tempest behind, which is going to, I think, complicate the counter that would have been Liberators at this point. What are we doing? What are we doing over here? Okay. Really? Really? You recall, huh? Alright, here comes the army. The time is nigh. Now we see the real reason. The Protoss army is warped in on top of the Terran production, which is probably the worst place it could have been for the Terran, because now you're going to lose any measure of reinforcements. The Terran decides to just send their stuff across. We've got a base race on our hands, ladies and gents. The Decorative Tempest on a move command. He will not make it. Okay, I thought he was going to make it for a second. Marine Marauder starts to whittle down the buildings with ruthless efficiency. What's our upgrades like? 2-2. Fantastic. +3 attack was on the way. It was just denied. The Protoss are ravaging the main base of the Terran. The command center's destroyed here. The mothership helping out. Terran forces, we're not splitting them up. Instead, we're just going to kind of move through as one group. Everybody hold hands, buddy system. Yes, make sure you have all 82 of your buddies in hand so you can all see each other, stay together. The Protoss army, I feel like wins if they come to blows just because of the storms. If there were no storms, or if there were actual EMPs or splits, nice. Thank you. Little overkill, though. Fantastic shot, though. So storm will be denied in the natural. Go for the Nexus to prevent a recall. Well, the Protoss does finish working their way through most of the Terran buildings. They are also going to make a Nexus on the other side. I heard a recall. You recalled the mothership so that the mothership could recall your army? What? Storms have arrived and the Terran does not care. Cannot even be bothered to move out of the storms. The Marine Marauder plummets in supply, and with that, the game ends. Oh my word. Okay, well that was a beautiful bit of base race going on there. I actually thought it was going to come down to maybe the last few buildings with the Terran nailing those initial EMPs, but the Protoss recalls all of the tools and the spells in their kit and is going to get the job done. Thank you again for the submission, of course, and thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you have a great day.